Considering multiple governments around the world now have a very heavy hand in car development, here's a challenging question for you. Can hybrids look and be something more than a doorstop that can't get out of its own way? Here's another way to put it. Can a hybrid be something that's got two propulsion systems yet has almost 500 horsepower? Can a hybrid be something that's all-wheel drive yet not be a crossover? And then here's a real curveball for you. Can a hybrid be something with a folding roof? Now the answer to that less than obvious question would be yes, but here's the catch. I can only think of one that checks all of those boxes, which would be this one, which also happens to be finished in brilliant blue Magno. We'll get to that later. You see, this is part of the Mercedes E53 series, which is that 3-liter inline six that has an integrated starter generator motor. It sits between the 6-cylinder gasoline engine and the 9-speed torque converter automatic. It also does not have an accessory drive, and the hope is it will improve the reliability because of less moving parts. Now, in terms of output figures, this one is 429 horsepower, 384 pound-feet of torque. That's from the gasoline engine that has a turbocharger and an electric supercharger. I covered this in many other of these like mild hybrid episodes. Click on this link, you can see more of that. But then there is that integrated starter generator motor, which provides 21 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. What's important about that separate torque is it comes in from 100 RPM, so it's almost like zero. Now here's the thing that's unique about this setup and it being a hybrid. It's all-wheel drive. So that, working in conjunction with the adaptive air ride, makes this something that's more of a performance vehicle rather than something that's trying to be a hybrid for efficiency's sake. But efficiency is pretty respectable for a car that's closer to 500 horsepower, 21, 27, 23 combined. Now in terms of performance figures, it takes a little bit of a hit with a folding roof. It's 4.5 to 60 as opposed to 4.3 for that stunning, elegant coupe version of this same car. VMAX is the same, electronically limited to 155 miles an hour. So our lightweight streak had to come to an end at some point. 4,566 pounds, or depending on how you express your weights and measures, 2,071 kilograms. Something pertinent to point out there, this is only 130 pounds more than the coupe version of the same car. I don't know about you, but I expected a much larger delta with a folding roof and all the bits that go to strengthen a convertible. With that. Oh yes, this is unusually good. I expected this to be slower. But then again, only 130 pounds delta, there's virtually no difference. And the way, God, this thing is quick. The way this thing delivers power, and it delivers power the right way, it sounds so much better with the roof down, to the point where you probably want to use the gears manually a bit more than you did in that coupe. Because remember, the coupe, that was a more elegant car. Yes, this is still very much indeed an elegant car, but it's more playful. Yeah, the top has something to do with it, but the way in which the transmission works in conjunction with the two propulsion systems here, it's a bit more, how do I say this? It's a bit more AMG-esque with a folding roof. It's not that this car feels significantly faster than the coupe version of it, it just feels more lively. Okay, that's all fine and good, but what the hell do I exactly mean by that? It means the car is more fun to drive with the exact same engine, and the surprise is it's not a huge amount of weight, which makes it that much more fun. Get it? Yes, it is indeed that time again to play your favorite game, Mind the Absence game, with today's contestant. Something finished in our favorite Mercedes color ever. This one on the 2021 Mercedes AMG E53 Cabriolet for a base price of $82,850. Now, I do feel it prudent to point out that is $6,000 more than the coupe version of the same car. Then there's that color. You know what it is. Brilliant blue Magno, something that Kumo picked out personally for us. It is a little odd that you pay a lot of extra money for less paint. In this case, you don't get any clear coat, and you pay almost $4 grand, $3,950 for the pleasure. I would gladly do it. The color on the interior, not great. It is a black with gray two-tone. It's Napa leather. It's lovely for something else, but brilliant blue Magno needs like a saddle, maybe a light gray, something that provides contrast, but also has like a detail that pops. This doesn't pop. It works with the overall car, but it's not the best choice, especially when you have to pay $2,950 for it. Then while we're on the interior, the carbon fiber trim on the dash, $2,850. I would most likely do like a satin finish wood with the saddle, which would really pop with this car. Then they give you $250 back, and that's because there's a chip shortage, if you haven't heard. So what they do is they delete certain options they don't think people would be pissed off about. In this case, the heated steering wheel, which is kind of a big deal on a convertible. So I think I would spend the $250 to get the heated steering wheel. Then the AMG Performance steering wheel in Dinamica. Why is this optional on an $82,000 car? $500. Then the 20-inch AMG twin-spoke black wheels that are finished in matte as well. They do look magnificent in this car, although I would probably do like an aluminum finish to really make the color pop, but here I'm not mad at $1,250. Then the augmented video for the navigation, relatively affordable, $350, although that should be fitted as standard to a car that's $82,000. Then the AMG Performance exhaust, which you have heard throughout this episode, it is a must-have, especially at $1,250. Then the AMG Track app. I've never seen this being charged extra on one of these cars. I wouldn't pay the $250 for it. Then the multi-contour front seats. This is kind of a big deal, $950, although I would like more bolstering on the seats considering the performance of what this car can do. Then the heated and vent seats, only for the front, $450. Then one of my favorite options, the head-up display, $1,100. Then the driver's assistance package, we've discussed this many times. This is the level 2 autonomy. No, this is not a self-driving car. That is $1,700. Then the exterior lighting package, that's LED adaptive headlights. That is an additional $900. Then the warmth and comfort package, useful in a convertible because it makes the heated seats warm up faster. Then the armrests are heated as well. That's $800, money well spent. Then the AMG night package. I'm not a big fan on this when it comes to brilliant blue Magno. And here, the color and trim people seem to agree with me because yes, most of the trim is black, except for the trim around the daylight opening and the A-pillar, that is aluminum, and look at how it absolutely makes the color pop. So I wouldn't spend the $750 on the AMG night package. I would do everything in aluminum. And then the carbon fiber exterior package, mainly it's the carbon fiber on the mirror fairings, which do fold, $1,750. Then the only other thing we add is the destination handling von Bremen, Deutschland, $1,050, for a total retail price of $105,440. Now you and I need to focus on the far more important part when it comes to chopping the roof off of a car, especially a powerful car, and that would be the driving dynamics. And here it's kind of like the power delivery. The car feels more lively, but it doesn't feel loose. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of cowl shake to it. It feels like a strong structure, which yes, it is Mercedes, especially Porsche. They always do a good job of converting a car to a folding roof. But here, the combination of a moderate amount of power with the adaptive suspension has good control over most of the planes of motion, not 100% control. Okay, that sounds lovely, but what the hell does that mean? Well, it means it's good control over pitch in particular, but when it comes to a heavy convertible, especially one with 2 propulsion systems and an all-wheel drive system, you would think there would be a lot of squat and a lot of dive. That is not the case here. You do feel a little bit of extra weight in the rear, but not like you're feeling pitch towards the ass end of a car like you would get in a very large coupe. this has more control. Really, it maintains better control even when you're trying to drive it aggressively. And that really is a function of the adaptive system that is the air ride, and then the brakes as well, because here it's got the same 14.6-inch diameter rotors in the front with 4 piston calipers and 14.2-inch diameter rotors in the back with 1 piston calipers. So overall, this thing is a good amount of fun, more than it should be. All of it kind of comes together to make this car feel a little bit lighter on its feet than it should. Quite a marvel when you consider it's got a folding roof. So here's the thing about today's exercise. This works, and it works incredibly well. I'm not mad about the idea of putting electrification in an all-wheel drive convertible, as odd as that concept sounds, which brings us to the wish list. I'm gonna renew what I've said in other Mercedes episodes. Let's take this EQ Boost system and put it into other AMG products, namely V8 AMG products. I'm looking for ridiculous horsepower that comes in from zero. If it works this well on a vehicle that only has 429 horsepower, think how well it will work on a vehicle that has 603 horsepower or even more. And I really need to emphasize V8, not 4-cylinder. And this is the point of the episode where I turn this around to you guys to opine in the comments below, or via our social media, MotoManTV, all one word, MotoManTV, all one word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that, I do need to make one final plea here. This is now, what, the 3rd car we've gotten finished in brilliant blue Magno. All of them have had a gray or a black interior. Can we try something better just at least once? The next one, let's do the saddle. Or like something that's got some life into it. That's what we want. Black has no life. This color on the exterior has a lot of life. So we need to blend them together. Until I see you in the next episode, be sure.